That was fucking incredible. Guys, tonight was exactly what I wanted. Ladies back on stage, Dicey and Raja. So we're doing something I like to call the Comedians Panel. Give a special shout out to Yema up there doing the sound for us, doing the lights. What's up, Yema? How you doing up there?
I'm big chillin'. How you living?
Big chillin'. Yeah, I'm living good. Living large. Living large, okay? My back's not broken yet. Well, actually, it's been broken. What am I talking about? Okay, so is this a little thing we like to do? You guys are going to pass the mic around. I'm going to ask you, we're going to talk about some things that are going on in the news. All right? I'm just going to give your comedic commentary on it. All right?
All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
So I think, Victor, you're going to like this one. Former President Jimmy Carter said he cured his cancer through the use of marijuana.
Yes! And that, you know, he's probably been doing it before that, too. He's been smoking through his presidency. He's such a chill guy. And I'm not surprised he was featured on King of the Hill. He's just a cool president.
You know, I kind of like took a break from the news because of all my election season PTSD. So I actually missed that, but it actually sounds. Carter's my favorite president because he didn't get into wars. You know, like right? He was like really like undervalued in his time, but now we like kind of really are grateful for that. But yeah, anytime you meet a white president who's that progressive, you know he's a pothead. You know what I mean? You don't meet such white people that not racist if they're not smoking pot.
Well, I feel like if ex-presidents are coming out saying that they smoke weed, it's time to let these niggas out of prison who is in there for a joint. Let them out.
Yes!
That's how I feel. Shit.
That's what I'm talking about. That was great.
Well, Carter was the president rumored to have Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young in the White House, so he's definitely been doing the weed for a while. He's a farmer, so I would imagine that he grew it and had some of the best. Maybe that's why there was peace during his administration. I'm just saying. I don't know. I just want to thank you very much for including me on this panel, Lila.
You're very welcome. Norman. We love Norman. Norman smokes pot.
Yeah!
So yeah, give it up for Norman Davis. Play a little tune, Norman. Okay, well, I'll read this next one. So, E. Jean Carroll is the 22nd woman to report sexual assault against Trump. Trump's response was, "She's not my type."
Damn.
Who wants to take it? 22nd. She's the 22nd woman.
22nd?
Yeah.
22nd. What did he do to all of them?
Sexual assault.
Every fucking one of them? Oh my goodness. I didn't vote for him. My dad voted for him. He's a fucking Mexican. I don't know what's wrong with him. He thinks he's gonna give him guns or something. I don't know what he told him. Fucking told him he's not gonna do it.
Wow, 20. Yeah, did you? The thing that's really interesting about her too is I feel like everyone's so tired of hearing about Trump raping people that no one's really talking about it, right? Like they're just like, oh, President Trump raped. It's horrible. It's not funny, but it is like, okay, but like, it just I'm trying to process my thoughts about it, but like it's like we were so like used to hearing this that we're just like, oh, another person, you know, let's move on to the next part of the news. I feel terrible because we should talk about this more. That's not funny, it's just my opinion and also my sadness. But like, yeah, I just feel like we're so used to this. We're like, oh, that's like it's so hack talking about President Trump raping. Like we don't know.
Fresh material. It's like when in the election grabbing people by the pussy. I mean, are we really surprised? You know. Anyways, keep going. What would you like to say?
Well, I'd like to rape him. That's what I'd like to do. I mean, we've already made suggestions on this show that may get the Secret Service here. They know I've practiced a nonviolent martial art. They have my fingerprints as an activist already. I'd just like to see him take it. In fact, I think that's what Donald Trump actually needs. I think people have said, you know, let's dose him. Let's put him on psychedelics. No, No, sir, nay. I say, let's find the biggest, baddest, whiskeriest Russian dominatrix with the biggest, fattest, hairiest alien dildo strap on, and let's just see what type of dominatrix is his type, and what is his safety word? I don't know. What?
And broadcast it.
And broadcast it for the world. Yes.
Well, I think that, you have to actually have a dick to rape somebody. And I don't see him having one.
Yeah. No, he ain't got no dick. Not a dick that we want to see or be touched by. No. Bernie proposes to cancel $1.6 trillion in student loans. I'm for that. Yeah. I got some debt that I'd like to be canceled out. Right?
I'm gonna be in debt for the rest of my life, so I have to support that. I have to support that. Look at my life choices. I'm not paying off my student loans. It's not gonna happen. I can't. I was like, you know what my credit score looks like right now? So I would support anyone. Well, I wouldn't support anyone, but I do support. I don't think anyone should even be taken seriously right now as a presidential candidate if they don't want to have a plan to cancel student debt, because our economy is about to collapse over it. Just a PSA, but anyway, that's it.
Well, I wasn't smart enough to get student debt, but if I had, I wouldn't mind it getting canceled. And a lot of the arguments I hear against it are like, oh, well, we don't want the taxpayer to pay for it. That's not what we're talking about. No one's going to pay for it. We're talking about canceling it. And if you did, you already paid for the banks that got bailed out, and those fuckers got raises after that. So you don't mind then? Let these fuckers get it, okay? They're smart people. Let them fucking get a regular smart job, then maybe shit would move along. Who knows?
And also Bernie's plan is about having Wall Street pay for it, right? And I think people get offended, right? And the reason why people get offended is because they always defend rich people because they like to think of themselves as rich. The first person that gets mad when you say, oh, AOC wants to tax the 1% or whatever. They're there's some upper middle class person. They're like, oh, that's gonna hurt me. And it's like, no, you're not rich. You're not rich. What you are is deluded. This is gonna help you too, you fool. It's always these people who imagine themselves as having something. And it's no, you're still mortgage broke, okay? This is not you.
I graduated from college 15 years ago. None of my education is even relevant today, so I'm damn sure I'm not paying that shit back. I'm not paying it back.
Well, I know there are a lot of people who paid a lot of money to go to school to learn that debt is actually a fictional existence. And if you majored in international monies, you would know that you could take this debt, puff it up over here in the air, do a loop-de-loop, and put it over with this debt, bundle that debt, which doesn't actually exist, making that debt a greater value if it existed. We don't know. Kick it back up, bounce it off your ass, grab it by the other foot, juggle it for a while like Pele, pop it off your third eye on your forehead, bind it over here with another piece of debt, put some interest on that bound debt, making more money which doesn't actually exist. And yes, it would be illegal if this money existed, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And neither do these students' debts. Amen and amen.
Yeah! Cancel the debt!
Yeah.
Well, I almost spelled it.
She means it. She means
Oh no. Okay, we're really fancy in here, okay? Okay, and this is a really good one for the ladies. So Marche Jones says she's a 27-year-old in Birmingham, Alabama. She was indicted. Yeah. Okay. Indicted. See? On manslaughter charges. Marche, during a dispute, was pregnant and was shot in the stomach, and her unborn baby died. Police believe that Marche was not a victim and therefore charged her with manslaughter. They said that the true victim was the baby, unborn baby.
She died too, right?
No.
No, she didn't die.
No, but they want to press charges on her for getting shot with the baby in her belly. Unfucking believable.
Fuck Alabama.
I've seen this episode of Handmaid's Tale. And, exactly. Just saying, spoiler alert.
I mean, I just feel like they're always gonna find a way to do some crazy fucked up shit to black people some kind of way. You know? It just never fails. I mean, that's crazy. So what they're saying it's her fault she got shot or what?
They're trying to blame her for provoking a fight.
What?
Yeah, this is
That results in the death of the
that's what their claim. That's what their rationale is. Just disgusting, but.
As if they would have ever taken care of that baby.
Exactly. They don't want to give women or anyone who's pregnant. They don't want to give prenatal care. They don't. Once the child is born, they don't want to give any medical care, any food stuff, like anything that this child needs. But they're like.
They're mad he didn't grow up and a cop didn't get to shoot him. That's what they're mad about. It's they're as if they cared in the first place. They're just looking for an opportunity to like put someone under the thumb like that.
And also, you know, in Alabama, prisons are a big industry. They don't have a lot of industry. You know, like they're not making a lot of money, so they need to well, they don't need to because there are other solutions, but because they don't want to create actual solutions, they're using prisons to bring like money into their state. So they're gonna find every stupid thing to put people in prison. You know, like we're not gonna change this till we. This is me on my me preaching now. We're not gonna change these this is gonna keep getting worse until we get rid of private prisons.
Yeah.
But this is that's why even a lot of people are saying let's not have movies made in Georgia or whatever. Their prisons right now in Georgia are making them more money than the movie industry. So it's just not gonna make a difference, you know.
Well, thank you guys so much. Give it up for your comedians panel.
Lila, do you love me? Yes, I do. I love everybody. As you can see on my show, Small Talk.